Okay, now we're back in business. 25 CR865, the state of Texas versus Roderick Austin Weatherly. That's you.
Yes, yes, sir.
Present with Mr. Kelly, your attorney, and the state attorney does. The defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and the arraignment here. Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, we do. We can't, please, Judge.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about March 1st of 2024, in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the third-degree felony of illegal possession of child pornography. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
If convicted, you face a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
An agreement has been reached where you would be pleading guilty, but not found guilty. That's 500.
500 is correct.
Let me use the Arabic numeral system.
Understood.
We blame the path, Judge.
I would blame it on being left-handed, but I don't think the court would have a response for that, probably.
We're in it together.
Understood.
15% of us are left-handed, 1 out of 7. If you're on Jeopardy, you've got the answer. So you would not be found guilty, but you would be placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation for up to 10 years, fined $500. There would be terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. Is this your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I follow this agreement, sir, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to this? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You're pleading guilty voluntarily because you are guilty. Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Show you what's marked as a State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document? Understand it? Discuss it with your attorney? Are the contents all true and correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence
No objection.
without objection. Among other things, this states that you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you, and you read it. You are guilty of the crime charged in any less included offenses. You are given a view of rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, and cross-examination of witnesses. You were totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true. It states, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes. Is a pre-sentence to a court way?
Yes, please, Judge.
It is, Judge.
Nothing further. I'm going to find that you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It is freely and voluntarily made. There is sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt based upon State's Exhibit 1 and your guilty plea, because you are pleading guilty voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
But the court is not going to find you guilty of this offense at this time. I'm going to defer any finding of guilt and place you on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 10 years. You do well, it will be shortened to 3 1/3 years. There will be terms and conditions of probation which are normal and customary for this type of offense. You must pay a fine of $500. Now, I'm going to take a moment on this one. Let's see. You uploaded 12 videos to the Google Drive depicting pubescent males, that's young children, performing and receiving sexual acts, unclothed, exposing their genitals. And you admitted downloading videos from a social media site X and uploading them to your Google Drive account. And your cell phone was seized, and there was a video of possible child pornography still on the phone. So this just a sidebar. Possessing child pornography is not a victimless crime. Each time the child who is depicted, unless it's a problem, even if it's AI made, and a lot of that is out there. But if these there's nothing to state that these aren't real people anyway. Each time they are viewed from the internet or downloaded with their victimization, it victimizes them in the internet forever. and they will be victimized the rest of their life. And we aren't talking about people who have voluntary acts. These are prepubescent. These are children. Each time you view it, you pass it along, even though it may be serving your prurient interest, which is inappropriate and immoral, plus illegal. It's harming these children. How do you undo their harm? You're enjoying yourself, apparently, at their loss. You're going to go to jail. I can put you in jail for up to 180 days. How much punishment should someone receive when they are victimizing children? The law limits me at 180 days. You're going to be ordered to do 180 days in a county jail as a condition of this probation. Also, the probation office is, when I sign these documents, there's going to be a moral reclamation therapy program. But child pornographers, if people don't accept and take part in watching or in viewing child pornography, child pornographers don't have a business. They run out of money. They quit doing it. It takes the pornographer and the recipient who accepts it and then views it to make it work, to make the crime work. And so you can't say that you didn't harm anybody, because we are. It's a common known fact that you've harmed people, children. These are children too, and it's in the internet forever. And there's not much we can undo with that, except don't subscribe to it and don't play into the pornographer's plan to make money off of it and to have people to proliferate the continuing victimization of the children who are viewed. It's in there forever. It's in there forever. Go ahead.
Mr. Weatherly is scheduled to return to school this week. May I have
You can do it on weekends.
first?
You can do it on weekends.
It's not local.
I'm sorry. It's what it is, Tom. So here's the deal. Just everybody can then go to another school and not have to pay a price. How do you undo the victimization of children? You can't undo it. You have to pay a price, a penalty. And it's just not deferred probation and a fine. So you have to, I'm setting an example like I do in all others on child pornography. This court has zero tolerance on child pornography. Everybody knows that. And Tom's going to represent Mr. Kelly's a great lawyer, but he's not going to find an expert who's going to come in and say he doesn't deserve to be placed into jail, because every expert will tell you, you proliferate the harm. It's not just the people who take the pictures and throw them on the internet. It's the ones who download them and then use them. Shame on you. And I feel sorry for the kids. These are children who are being harmed. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. I'll work with him, Tom, but he's going to do 180 days. That's a message I'm going to send to everybody. I send that same message for everybody who's in child pornography who gets deferred. He's got to work it out somehow. Where are you going to school? You two are. That's college, isn't it? You're in college?
Yes, sir.
You know better. You're going there for an education to be wiser. This isn't wise. Yeah, he's got to work it out.
Would the court please hold and let me at least hold it?
What do you want to do?
I'd like to address it.
You can address it all day long. He's going to 180 days in a county jail, one way or the other. And all people, if I open this door, all they're going to do is go, let me get in college somewhere and I'll go and I won't have to pay the price. He's done the deed. He has to atone. That's the way it works. It's the equivalent of a spanking when we were children. But you pay a price. I don't feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for the children who are victimized here. It's just terrible. Can you imagine the child seeing that when they're adults, or the family members saying, oh, there he is again on the internet forever, and people are downloading and enjoying themselves at their victimization? No, that's not what happened. I'll give you a week to figure it out if you, but, come up, I'll reset it 1 week, but he's going to go 180 days in jail unless you can convince me otherwise, but nobody's ever been able to.
Certainly try.
I'm sorry about it, but once again, I'm sorry for the children who were victims. That's who I feel badly for. Not you. You made a free choice to take evil versus good. And you knew it was wrong. You know that's evil. I'll reset 1 week for review, but then be ready. You're going to do 180 days one way or the other somewhere in a confinement to a time. All right. Okay. Get a reset.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. So the deal is what here?
2 years, Your Honor, on the revocation to run concurrent with 2 years. And if I may elaborate, Judge, the
go ahead.
defendant is taking early responsibility for this case. He is accepting responsibility rather than reset after reset. And I would point out that in the new law violation, Judge, he, as far as assaults go, I mean, it's not the most egregious assault. The allegation is that he punched a correction officer and bit another, during which he was allegedly having a medical episode of some sort, possibly a seizure. And lastly, Judge, there have been some mental health, history of mental health issues with this defendant, which, while not some mental health issues,
the other part.
while not exonerating,
Yeah.
Your Honor, it very well may be mitigating. So that's how the state arrived at its offer, Judge.
To sentence him to prison to be done. And I think based on all this and all the things leading up, like
Look, I don't see anything from the victims here in the file. I want to know what their position is, leaving our job to do in the jail. And his consistency on harming jail personnel doesn't impress me one bit. You were pleaded guilty back in March, and you were placed on probation in that case. But in the first case, you were convicted in September of 23rd, placed on probation and for assault on a public servant, sentenced to 10 years in prison, probated for 10. And apparently, I mean, that's the most you could get. Apparently the DA's office thought that was serious there. And then, so you assaulted public servants on 2 occasions as the probation office wrote in its findings. He was granted 10 years probation on September 3rd, 24 for assault on a public servant. Alarmingly, just 2 days later, on September 25th, he reoffended by committing another assault on a servant at Baptist Hospital. That's not what's represented 26 or 611. What happened on the September 25th incident in 2024? So on 9/23, and 2 days later, commits another assault at Baptist Hospital. But that's not what this indictment is. So we've had nonetheless, we're talking about 3 assaults allegedly occurring.
yes,
And
it was dismissed.
one he's pleaded guilty to and was on probation for, and then a second occurred 2 days after he was placed on probation, and a third occurs here in this new indictment.
Sure. Yes.
And so, as the probation office states, while in custody, the defendant has continued to exhibit a persistent and dangerous pattern of behavior that shows a complete lack of concern for the health, safety, and well-being of others. Most recently, however, about March 6th, the defendant committed yet another new offense. This repeated criminal conduct strongly indicates a profound lack of remorse for his prior offenses and a callous indifference to the harm inflicted to his victims. It's evident he poses a significant and ongoing risk of reoffending, particularly against public servants. What about that, everybody? Y'all are asking for the men to run concurrently?
Some
No,
significant.
but it won't be hard for us to get a motion to revoke probation. That's what we're gonna do.
Yes, sir.
I'm not taking that deal. We'll hold a hearing and I'll make the decision
All right.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
as soon as possible. Thank you.